I was standing in line at the bank, not really thinking about anything, just the ordinary dullness of waiting. The fluorescent lights reflected off the counters, making everything feel sharper and colder. My hands were clasped in front of me, knuckles pale, and I kept glancing down at the floor, listening to the faint shuffle of feet and the occasional cough. Nothing was wrong, not yet. Then I heard her. Why does this idiot even need money? Take everything from her account and let's go. The words were loud, deliberate, and somehow chewing through the quiet hum of the bank. My stomach dropped. I turned slightly, expecting some kind of joke, but it wasn't. It was my mother-in-law. Her voice carried the kind of authority she seemed to wield at home, the kind that always made others shrink. I saw my husband's hand move. Slowly, almost lazily, he reached for my card. There was no hesitation, no questioning, just the mechanical slide of paper into plastic. My throat closed, my tongue heavy and useless. I froze. The people in line didn't seem to notice immediately. Some shifted uncomfortably, others stared down at their phones. But I could feel the shift in the room. Every sound was louder, the tap of heels on tile, the soft beeping of machines, the faint rustle of papers. My mind raced, trying to form some plan, any plan, but nothing came. And then the teller looked up. She was calm, almost unnervingly so. Her eyes met mine for a brief second, and then the calm settled over the space between us. The line seemed to hold its breath. She said one sentence. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but I cannot process that request without your consent." The room froze with me. Even my husband hesitated mid-motion. My mother-in-law's lips parted, then pressed together again, the sharp edge of her command dulled by the reality of an external boundary she had not anticipated. The teller's hand rested lightly on the counter, unthreatening, and yet there was no doubt who controlled this moment. I felt something inside me shift. Not relief, not exactly, but a subtle loosening of the weight that had pressed my chest flat. The betrayal was still there, sour and gnawing, but it no longer felt suffocating. I could breathe again, tiny breaths at first, then deeper, steadier ones. My mother-in-law tried again, softer this time, almost coaxing, but the teller's eyes didn't waver. My husband looked at me, his expression flickering between guilt and confusion. The authority was unmistakable. There was no negotiation, no power play that could bypass it. I didn't speak, I didn't move, I just watched as the scene unfolded. And somehow, just by remaining silent, just by letting the teller enforce a boundary I couldn't voice in that instant, control had shifted. It didn't feel like victory, it didn't feel like triumph, it felt like permission. Permission to stand still without being destroyed. Permission to exist in the space I had been denied for so long. The transaction didn't proceed. My card stayed in my hand. My mother-in-law's face tightened, and my husband's hand lingered uselessly in the air, unsure. The line behind us murmured softly, nothing dramatic, just the quiet acknowledgement of tension relieved. When we left the bank, I walked out slowly, not looking back. The sun felt sharper on my face than it had all morning, the air carrying the ordinary smells of asphalt and exhaust and winter chill. I held my purse a little tighter, as if the simple act of doing so could anchor me to the life I had, the choices that were truly mine. I knew nothing had changed about them. My husband could still falter, my mother-in-law could still wield her voice at home, but here, in that small, fluorescent-lit arena of authority, a boundary had been drawn. It was quiet, almost invisible to anyone else, but it existed, and for the first time in a long time, I felt it in me, too. I didn't smile, I didn't celebrate, I didn't even speak. I just walked, holding that thin, fragile sense of dignity, feeling it like a pulse in my chest. And for now, that was enough.